would you see a not psychiatrist? Sorry.
I would.
I would, yeah.
If you're paying.
Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Cold Brews. I'm your co-host Allison.
And I'm Colleen. Welcome to episode 8.
Yes, thank you.
We did it. All right.
I'm like looking at you like you better get this right.
I got it right for the second time.
Yeah. Finally, episode 8 is all about this chapter in our lives.
I think this episode is particularly important because of how often podcasts end after episode 7. So we're like, oh my gosh, we made it past that milestone.
Yeah. We're finally sober as well. I know our last 2 episodes, we've had a few drinks. We hope you enjoy our sweetener, E. She's definitely going to be coming back on the pod. Yeah, you know, she's the sweetener to our cold brew. We need her. Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, we did not get drunk like for 2 weeks straight. We recorded that in one night.
Yeah, so
we're okay. Don't worry.
Yeah. They probably think every week they're freaking getting drunk. No, so episode 6 and episode 7 was recorded on the same night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't be worried. We're fine. But yeah. So episode 8 is going to be all about naming this chapter in our lives.
Yeah, so I heard this. So I think I was listening to I don't know if it was Roz and Mocha.
Okay.
Or another pod that I listened to, Coaches Don't Play. But whichever pod it is, I remember listening to something and it said they were talking about what would you name this chapter in your life? Yeah. So I thought it would be great for us to write a little synopsis, right, of what this chapter in our life is about.
Yeah. So we'll read each other's synopsis and then kind of talk about it. So it's a bit of like a teaser before we get into it.
Yeah. So we wrote it in, I guess, third person.
Yeah.
So just
which
a little
was weird.
Yeah, it was
saying your
weird.
name and using she. Like...
Yeah. I was like, how do I write this, right? So we like both just took 15 minutes just to write down a chapter, and I'm going to be reading Call's chapter of her life, and she's going to be reading the chapter of my life.
Woo!
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a disclaimer, I have really bad seasonal allergies, so if I sound like I just had a breakdown, I didn't. I'm just very stuffy right now.
Yeah, it's not COVID. Your results came back negative, so just allergies.
Yeah.
I think because of like COVID, it's like you gotta remember like the common cold, flu, and allergies exist.
It happens. But like COVID is the first thing that comes to your mind. You're like, what if it is?
Yeah.
So you have to get tested.
I know. I was like thinking, I'm like, shoot, how are we going to record? I'm like, oh, gotta do it off Zoom or something.
Ew, the quality would be so bad for sound. Ugh. And that's one thing we hate.
Yeah. We try to have good sound quality.
Yeah.
You know? We at least try it, but you're negative, so it's all good.
Yeah. And the test is like uncomfortable, but it's bearable. It's
so
like
it's not bad. Like
it's not as dramatic as people make it out to be. Like, you know how some people reacted so bad to getting tested? And I'm like, how did you get tested? Because like it's super chill. They just swab up your nose, and it's little.
It's a swab, so they don't like stick it up there?
They stick it like all the way up here, and it like when they swirl it for like 5 to 10 seconds, like you get teary-eyed.
Oh, okay.
And you know what it feels like you're just about to sneeze. And that's it.
Well, at least it's not an anal swab.
They do that?
Yeah, in China.
No way.
Yeah, backcheck that.
If it isn't, you're spreading this information.
It's fine. We're going to edit this out.
All right. Okay.
Shall
we start?
Yep. So you want me to read yours?
Okay,
yeah.
here.
Okay, perfect.
take some time, get the dramatics into it.
Okay.
I sanitize my phone. And I didn't title the chapter, but it's the last sentence of my synopsis.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So, what would I call this chapter in my life?
All right. While she spent most of her 27th year confined in her room working from home amidst the pandemic, Coleen goes through more changes than she expects. Forced to reconcile her identity at home and at work, Coleen learns the meaning of finding herself through human and virtual connection. She learns that her identity is constantly evolving and that above all else, she is and can be whoever she wants to be. In this chapter, Coleen learns that everything she ever wanted, dreamt of, and desired is all within reach. She is a sum of her past and the present, edging towards her future. This chapter... Wow. This is a good one. This chapter is called The Verge.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so good.
Claps.
Wow. So, do you want to explain The Verge?
Okay, The Verge. You know that weird sensation, and it's kind of basically like limbo where you're between things. Like, you can see what's happening there, but are also going towards there. And, like, being in the pandemic and going through 3 lockdowns, I just felt like most of my...
Not one, but 3.
Not 1, not 2,
3.
but 3.
Yeah.
I literally felt like my life was on pause, and I was just like, I'm so close to the edge of doing the things I want to do and the things we have said we always wanted to do. But I'm just like, I can't go there yet because of all of this that's happening.
Yeah.
But because everything was paused, I actually realized how close I was to it. And it makes me want it more.
What is it?
I don't know how to explain it, but when just like a new chapter of your life is starting and you're just like shedding old skin and
Yes.
I don't know how to explain.
Like a snake.
Yeah, like a snake.
Yeah.
Why is that what the chapter's called?
Because you say shedding old skin. No, sorry. It just like my mom says like I'm like a snake because I just leave my clothes around. So that's why I was like laughing. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm so gonna use that as a mom.
Yeah. You're like a snake. You just leave your clothes everywhere. Like,
that's so clever.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how I feel about this chapter, where I'm just like, I'm going through a bunch of like mental transitions as we kind of try to figure out what to do with the next steps, like around the world. Yeah,
I like that you mentioned how your life was paused. I think for a lot of people, it's like they had so many plans, but everything was on pause. And there's things that you want to do, but then you can't do it in the situation that the world is going through right now.
Yeah, and like stuff we usually do, like that we took for granted, we realized how much we really loved it and like cherished it.
Yeah, it's the little things like just sitting in a coffee shop.
Yeah. To just like, I don't know, like after we get our drinks, we don't have to leave Starbucks right away. We just sit down and talk.
Ooh, the table's free. Like, it's
like, And what was I gonna say? I remember having this specific thought where, when you realize you're working a 9 to 5 and you're like, I'm going to be doing this until I'm like in my 40s or 50s or 60s.
40s? When is retirement in Canada? Is it, 68 now?
No, it's 65.
I thought they increased it.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, if we make enough money to just retire early.
I know, but I'm just like, when you realize you're going to be doing the same thing for a very long time.
For like the next 30 years.
Yeah, I had that realization like in 2019. And I was like, how long can I keep doing this? Like, won't I burn out? Like, when will I just stop?
Yeah, but then with your role, I see you not doing the same thing. Like, I just
yeah.
see you moving up and doing something else.
Yeah.
Like, you may be in the same field. You maybe one day you're not in the same field. But I see, like, your career as, like, something that you're constantly going to be moving up in. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The thing that's, like, a downside with that is that you're always going to go back to a square one, in a way. Like, yes, you're moving up the ladder, but, like, you become a small fish. You become a big fish in a small pond, and then when you move up, you're a small fish in a big pond, and then you grow, and then you start over. And so the virus is terrible. Don't get me wrong. Like, so many people died, and that's not good. But in a way, the pause button that it forced everyone to have kind of made me stop. The pause made me realize, I was like, I have done so much. I'm going to do a lot more. But, like, just chill at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a weird year.
It has, you know, it really has. I think it made you realize what's important in your life.
Yeah, I feel like everyone can, like, relate to that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I like that chapter, The Verge.
Shall we do yours now?
Yes. So the way I did it was I have a chapter name in the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. So once again, let me just pull it up in my notes.
Okay. Ooh. What would you name this chapter of your life? Chapter 28. Everything in time. Time seems to be moving really fast and really slow at the same time. You know when you've accomplished so much, but yet this is not what you thought your life would be like at 28? You know when you're conscious and aware that you're in control of your life, but at the same time you have no control of what's next? In this chapter of Allison's life, she embraces the fact that your late 20s actually isn't that old. That this moment will never be repeated again. Every opportunity that comes your way, take it. Whatever you want to do, do it. Live on your time and not others. The next chapter may be rough, or they may be the best story you've ever read in your life. Is this a Nike ad?
Period.
Just do it. I think that kind of embodies you. I really like this. Yeah. Everything in time. Yeah. Because you really went through this.
Yeah, no, it's literally it. Like, I have so much anxiety around aging.
I'm getting there too.
Yeah, I can literally stay up all night thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm conscious and aware of, like, my life, my body. Like, this is, like, no one can hear my thoughts but me.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so yeah, I have, like, so much anxiety around aging and what's next, what's gonna happen. But, like, I've learned that, listen, I need to enjoy being 28.
Yeah.
I can't, like, be sad about getting older. Like, I'm never going to be this age ever again. And it sucks. Like, you know how you bring up the whole, like, COVID thing with everything being on pause? Like, that's how I feel, because I'm like, I want to do more, but I can't do more.
Yeah.
You know? I want to travel the freaking world, but I can't. And it's weird how, like, you know when you have the money now?
Yeah.
To do it, but you can't do it.
It's so weird, though, because when you think about it, you, right now, with how COVID has paused everything for a lot of people, you realize you want to do things you used to do without even thinking about them.
Yeah.
And that's all we kind of spent most of the year thinking about. We're like, oh, this was taken from me. But it's so hard to see the glass half full in that case. Whereas, like, there are things, our positions, like you and I specifically, are being given right now with COVID. Didn't you ever think about wanting to be, okay, actually, not you, where it was, sometimes I'd be like, I wish I could be home more often, because most of my time was spent commuting and traveling, and, like,
oh yeah, you spent a lot of time traveling,
because, like, I'd leave my house at, like, 7:30 and then come home at 7:30, and then I'd eat dinner and fall asleep and then do it again, and I was like, I have no time to do anything else in between.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to go back
to
waking up at 6 a.m. again.
That's hard.
And catching my 7:45 GO train.
Thankfully, like, our works are super flexible with that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they let us. So, what do you mean about the next chapters may be rough or there may be the best story you've ever read in your life?
So what I mean by that is, so before I used to always be scared or taking the chance to do things because I always thought that the outcome would always be negative. Mm-hmm. Right? And then now I'm like, no matter what the outcome is, I know I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know I'll live through it. I know I'll be okay. Which is why, like, I'm open to, like, anything really, like, career-wise, relationship-wise. I'm more open now because I'm not scared to get hurt because I'm willing to just go through it because, like, what if that moment is, like, the best chapter of my life?
Yeah. It reminds me of those books that, like, you choose your adventure.
Eat, Pray, Love.
No!
What books?
Like, the Goosebumps one where you choose, like, okay, now you have a decision to do A, B, or C.
Yes.
And you go to a certain page with what you choose.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, where you're like, what if you say no to that opportunity and you missed, like, meeting your soulmate?
Exactly. Stuff
it's
like that.
It's one of those things, yeah.
Like, now, like, with work, it's like, hey, Allison, do you have capacity to do this? And it's like, sometimes it's like, there's so much work, but, like, what if I enjoy that one thing, I know it's a lot that I'm taking on, but, like, I just learn with everything that comes to me,
Yeah. You have to be careful, though, because I think what I learned this year, too, is, like, one of the lessons, like, my boss taught me was, like, if you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something.
The way, for me, it's, like, I don't know what I like. So I'll do it.
No, I get that. But if you already have a list of commitments and you, like, basically just don't overwork yourself or don't
no, I totally get
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
And circling back on aging, like, I agree. I think this year is the most, because we've been so, like, still and sedentary.
Yeah.
We just, like, this is probably the most inactive year of our lives.
Yeah.
I've been feeling a lot more aches and pains. And I'm just like, I have to take care of this one body I have.
Yeah, my ass is taking biotin, okay? I'm freaking taking biotin, freaking using products with collagen and retinol in it,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do age-preventing things.
But at the same time, it's this thing I try to remind myself, but it's so hard, where, like, you are this is the youngest you're going to be.
I know.
Today.
It's crazy. Like, I think about what I thought my life would be like at 28. Like when I was younger, I used to think I would be married with kids at 25.
Same. I was like, I'll have my own place downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'll have a whole family.
What the hell was I doing at 25? I don't even know. I think I was graduating college or something.
I started my job.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I didn't think, like, what I'm doing now, I definitely didn't think I would be doing what I'm doing at 28.
Yeah, we're at this age, too, where it becomes so, like, we're in the thick of it, that we're so clouded from seeing the big picture. We're just kind of trying to go through what we're going through and not seeing it. Like, when you were in college and you're like, I'm doing this because I know in 4 years I'll graduate and then I can do the next thing. Like, right now, I can barely really see past, like, 4 years.
Yeah, like, being in college and, like, looking at my life, like, the image that plays in my head is, like, a bunch of boxes falling down the stairs. That's what it's like.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's the image I have. Like, when I was, like, in college, I think about, like, my life outside of college, and I just think about, like, boxes falling down the stairs. Like, just, like, I don't know. It's just, like, a freaking mess, you know? But, like I said in my chapter, like, I feel like I've accomplished so much, though.
Yeah, I agree.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know what's next.
And I don't think we need to know either. But I think it's just, like,
I want to know. I'm like, I'm like,
No,
tell
I don't
me.
want to know. If someone tells you that they know exactly when you're going to die, do you want to know that?
No, but like, okay, whoa, 1 second. Do you want to? Would you?
What?
Would you see a not psychiatrist? Sorry,
I would.
I would. Yeah.
If you're paying.
Oh my gosh, would you see a psychic?
But like for what? To like know
Anything.
about my future and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like in some way seeing psychics like that is self-fulfilling. Like if someone tells you something's going to happen like this,
Mm-hmm.
you unconsciously do things to make that happen.
Yeah,
I don't want
know
to
if
go.
I would. I don't think I would. I feel like I would just jinx it.
Yeah.
And everything she's saying, the total opposite will happen.
Yeah.
Or he, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I probably wouldn't do it. But yeah, no, I liked your chapter.
I like your chapter too.
Yeah. I'm glad we did this episode. It's very chill compared to chill and in depth, you know?
Yeah.
About ourselves compared to our last 2 episodes. So
yeah, those were like pretty.
It's kind of funny.
I said deep, but you said funny.
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Yeah, exactly. I hope our listeners like our chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you want us to actually post our chapters.
Oh.
You know, if you want to ever read it back, let us know if you want to hear that or read it. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So you just listened to Chapter 27, The Verge, and Chapter 28, Everything in Time.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for your freshly brewed episodes every Monday.
You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at 2 Cold Brews. For sneak peeks and teasers, you can check out our Instagram page.
Speaking of teasers, oh yeah, by the way, teasers, we got feedback. We're keeping the teasers at the end. Okay?
Even though it's a bit more work, I like how it loops everything in time.
So, as of right now, we're keeping the teasers. Tune in.
Am I the asshole?